Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I wanted to go over the bench press. So the first thing you want to do is have your setup right. So you want to get your grip. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over head and shoulder placement on the bench and your hip and your foot placement on the bench and the floor. Then we're going to go over the execution of the bench press. So we're going to go over unracking the lowering portion or the eccentric portion of the lift and the actual pushing or the concentric portion of the lift. All right, so first thing I want to go over is your grip. All right, so when holding onto the bar, you want the pressure to be on this bottom corner of your palm, right across from your thumb. So the bar is going to be placed this way. So what this does is it allows you to keep your wrist straight as you're bench pressing. If you keep the bar up high in your palm, it's going to create a bend in your wrist, and when you add a lot of weight, it can create wrist problems. All right. So after that, you want to make sure your head placement is correct. So when you line up, you want your eyes directly underneath the bar. That way, when you're bench pressing, if you're too far back, you will wind up hitting the rack. If you're too far forward, it's going to cause problems unracking the bar. All right, so then after you have your head placement, you want to make sure your shoulder blades are pinched together on the bench. This is going to create a nice sturdy base for pressing. You're going to keep your hips pinned to the bench, and I personally like to keep my feet as if I was sitting in a chair. I might pull them back a little bit, but I don't get up on my toes and then create a big arch. If you're powerlifting, that's okay. It will decrease that range of motion. But if you're just a regular lifter and you're looking to gain strength or hypertrophy, it's not ideal for what you want. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up real quick and show you everything that I mean. So I'm here, I get my eyes underneath the bar. All right, and if you have a rack where the bar rolls back and forth, just make sure you count for that bar rolling forward. All right, so after that, eyes underneath the bar, I pinch my shoulder blades together, hips are in bend or on the bench. I squeeze my glutes to keep everything tight, and my feet are in position. All right, they're not up here. I don't like to keep them back here. They're just as if I was sitting in a chair. All right, then I get my grip. So without rolling your shoulders, all right, you're gonna reach up, get your grip. Remember, bar is on this bottom corner of your palm. So one thing you can do is when you get the grip is you can just pinch the bar with your fingertips. I personally just like to squeeze the bar with my fist. All right, so that's that. And then next we'll go over the actual execution of the bench press, unracking it, the eccentric part and the concentric. So a few things when you're unracking is one, I like to talk about before, you want the bar rolled all the way forward. That way when you're lifting off, you're not lifting off and coming from here all the way there. It's just a small lift. All right, so that's number one. Also, when you're lifting off, you want to make sure you don't let your shoulders roll forward, all right, so that you're going to lose that base that you just created. Another thing is when you're coming down, you want to make sure your elbows are tucked into your side, not all the way, and you don't want your elbows all the way flared out. So when your elbows all the way flared out, it's going to create a lot of pressure in your shoulder that's really not necessary. All right, so one thing I like to think about when I'm coming down is bending the bar in half. All right, so this is going to help engage your lats coming down, and as you're coming up, you want to think about breaking the bar in half. All right, obviously it's not going to happen, but that's kind of the thought that you want to put into it as you're coming down and you're pressing back up. So I'm going to do one rep the wrong way to show you what I mean, and I'm going to do one rep the right way. All right, so this is the wrong rep. I'm going to set up the right way, eyes underneath the bar, shoulder blades pinched together, hips on the ground, feet on the ground. I got my grip, and when I go on rack, shoulders are forward and they come off the bench. All right, so if I bench from here and my elbows are flared out, it's going to create a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and then going up is still creates a lot of pressure. All right, so that was one rep the wrong way. So here's a rep the right way. Shoulder blades on the bench, eyes underneath the bar, hips, feet on the bench. Got my grip. All right, so I'm just gonna extend my arms, pull the bar over. All right, so I'm thinking about bending the bar in half. Bar comes down mid-chest. I'm thinking about breaking the bar in half, and then I'm back up. All right, so that was a quick breakdown of the bench press. So I hope this helps. Love you guys. See you next time.